And you know what I always toot about? This is what I always toot about. You need to check on your happy friend. Like, you need to check on your happy friend 2 times. Like, if I ask you, how are you doing? And like you laugh, say, I'm good, girl. I'm gonna ask you a second time. No, how are you really doing? Because past this smile, y'all don't know that I was strangled unconsciously.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned into Jaja's mic, home of the world's toughest leaders. It's a pleasure to have you. Today, y'all know my favorite spot. I'm at Starbucks. And in the midst of being at Starbucks, the Spirit leads and brings a phenomenal individual by the name of Earl in front of my presence. Earl is an individual with an immense amount of energy, very enthusiastic, always looking over her back. But she's just this bundle of joy and bundle of light. And leaders, as we were out there at the balcony of Starbucks, really speaking about the power of the mind, right? Today, my leader, she has a perspective that she wants to share with you. Me and her have kind of been through similar journeys in the past, and we have overcome them. And what Earl looks to do is just truly share a perspective with you. Author of a book, which I'll link below, but also a phenomenal poet. I've been asking God to lead me to poets lately, and I'm very excited. My leaders, Earl wants to speak to you about the power of the mind. So without further ado, I introduce you to Earl.
Hey, it's your girl Earl. Guys, I'm from Houston. Somehow I landed in Austin, Texas. I'm a rising senior at the only HBCU in the A. And fun fact, y'all, I do not like Starbucks. How did I end up here? You asked, I answered. I was at a poetry meeting with a business partner. I look out of my window and I'm like, yo, he's reading his Bible. And I was like, okay, well, I'm still trying to converse and have my conversation. And I'm like, you know what? The Spirit is literally telling me to go outside and be nosy. So I'm like, okay, hey, I'm sorry, this is kind of weird, but my name is Earl. I'm a poet. Can you pray for me? And then we literally just hit it off. When he asked me if I had anything on my heart or mind to say, immediately I thought about staying alight. I believe this is a concept that more people need to learn about. Staying alight means that you don't allow anyone to bring you into their darkness. So you actively are staying in the light, meaning I can't allow your misery to rub off on me. Pain is transferable, so when you need to check in with self, you are held accountable to do so. And in remembering to stay in the light, go back and help people in their darkness. Oftentimes we're so buried in financial responsibilities, heartache, toxic situations, soul ties, whatever the case may be for you, that we forget if the tunnel was meant to last forever, you would never see the end. Like, you would never see light again. So we have to actively remember this, guys, to stay in the light every day, even on the days where darkness presents itself. Like, cool, I know that this won't last for long, so I'm going to smile anyways, or I'm going to pray through it anyways. And also, y'all, we have to remember that we have to go through things to grow through things. A lot of us want to skip the darkness. Okay, cool. Yeah. But if you've never experienced depression, then you won't understand what it feels like to get up one day and your toothbrush doesn't feel like a weight anymore. Yeah. You're like, okay, today is a good day. That might be, for you at the beginning, that might be once out of a week. Yeah. But the more you change your mindset, like, hey, I am going to have a good day. That one day out of the 7 turns to 7 out of 7, baby, because you know what? Your mindset just changed. So did your happiness. And you know what I always toot about? This is what I always toot about. You need to check on your happy friend. Like, you need to check on your happy friend 2 times. Like, if I ask you, how are you doing? And, like, you laugh and say, I'm good, girl. I'm going to ask you a second time. No, how are you really doing? Because past this smile, y'all don't know that I was strangled unconsciously. January 15th by my ex-boyfriend, which is a noob. No, that's not anything that you would predict. It's not a nightmare that just goes away. It's not anything you can tweet about and like feel relieved about. Like, I'm in a weird space, like, okay, God, use me regardless. Because yes, my vase has shattered, but all my pieces are still able to be a vessel for the kingdom. So that just goes back to show why I wrote this poem called Dear Anonymous. Dear Anonymous, you were more secure on your own butt when nighttime came. Darkness whispered to you and reminded you how lonely you were. So eventually you gave in and allowed yourself to settle for a physical body, but true feelings were never there, y'all. Created them through having raw sex and temporary talks about the future. But was it love, a lust from the jump, or did it just give your mind something to cling to? The first time he put his hands on you, you tricked your mind with the help of him into believing that it would never happen again. And it doesn't for a while. The apology actually seems genuine and is followed by changed behavior, but you can't seem to silence the inner warrior beating on the inside of your belly, also known as your gut feeling, your intuition, your spirit of discernment, or simply my mama didn't raise boo-boo to full all yelling that you should leave when the first red flag came rolling in with sirens connected to it. But I have a question for y'all. How do you leave when your mind has a compass to run, but your heart controls your feet? You literally are stuck in love, right? You walked with too much confidence. It made insecure people uneasy every time you entered the same room as them. So they had two options: never share the same room as you, or break you down until you are silent, secretly transferring over all their insecurities. You've been yelling in a bullhorn with a crowd full of people in it that you'll go to war for this person, when in actuality this person was at war with themselves and you were at war with everyone else trying to defend them. Step back, take off your armor, get fresh air into your lungs before you are killed in the crossfire, because love, y'all, love never hurts like this. And you were never anonymous. You were simply a woman.